Hey everybody, it's Jen from Jen Geigley Knits, and I just got home from California. From driving to California with my family in a Prius from Iowa to Palm Springs to LA. And we just got home and I am leaving for Rhinebeck in 2 days. So that's where I'm at right now, but I was packing for Rhinebeck and I thought I would take a pause and make a quick video because I just finished my Rhinebeck sweater in 4 days of nonstop knitting in the car, which is very intense, but I knew I could do it. I had a feeling that this would be possible, and so I tested my theory and it worked out. So I knitted this entire sweater except for this section of the neck. This was done before I left. Everything else, all the color work was done, everything, sleeves, all of it, except for I did the cuffs at home because I wanted to make sure I had the right arm length and I wanted to try it on. Everything done in the car on our drive to LA last week. So this is like full of California memories, even though it's very woolly and it's my Rhinebeck sweater. So I'm gonna call this Knitting from Coast to Coast. And I have some beautiful footage that I will insert now of me knitting in the car this entire sweater. pretty exciting, right? I've never done that before. I knitted almost a whole sweater last year. We drove to California last year as well, and I knitted part of a sweater, but not the whole thing. But the reason this was possible is this is worsted weight. This is the Throwover by Andrea Mowry. My main color is Sawkill Farm. I bought at Rhinebeck last year, and it's in black indigo. It's this nice dark deep navy, which I love, and it's very sheepy. I just steamed it because I realized I don't have time to wet block it and let it dry before I pack my stuff and leave in 2 days. So I just did a good steam with my little travel steamer, which works really well. And then this color work is, of course, Spincycle in their Dream State, and I believe this is Stay Out of the Forest, and that is how it turned out. It is so fun. So I think the pattern has you do this opposite, but I did kind of a light to dark up here and a dark to light down here, and then kind of a yellow, orange, red, blue, purple in the middle. And I just love how it turned out. This is a very different color scheme for me. I don't usually do like red, yellow, blue, but I love, love, love the contrast with the navy. I love that I bought all this yarn last year at Rhinebeck. I ended up with the perfect amount, and I wasn't sure if I had enough of the main color, but I won yarn chicken by quite a bit and just had just enough left that I felt really comfortable making my sleeves exactly the length I wanted. I love it when they hit at that perfect spot on my wrist, and then they're easy to slide up. I have plenty of room there. I made it a little bit longer than the pattern suggests. I think it's kind of cropped in her directions where it would hit me a little higher, but I like it like right here at the hip. So I just went a little bit further since I had enough yarn, and I really, really want to buy more of Sawkill's yarn this year at Rhinebeck because it's really nice to knit with. It feels really nice, and I love a good local sheep yarn from Rhinebeck. It's just kind of a fun memory, but I loved knitting with this yarn. So that is my Rhinebeck sweater. I finished it in time. I really waited till the last minute with this one, but I had other things I don't know, working on before. And I kept thinking, I have this trip coming and I want to like make really good use of my time, and I did. So, and this is even with taking breaks. I didn't knit the entire time, but it is 2 solid days of 12-hour driving, maybe 13, because there's mountains. So we drove from Iowa, like over Nebraska, Colorado, Utah, Nevada. It's a big trip. And my kids are such good travelers. I'm so grateful. They're at a great age right now, and we've done this many times. My son does not want to fly yet. He has autism, and I think someday he'll be ready to fly, but right now he's not ready to get on a plane, so they know no different. My daughter has flown, but we love a good road trip. We love seeing the scenery change along the way and being in the real huge mountains, and then in the desert around Moab and through Nevada and through Las Vegas. Like we go, it's crazy. So we drove to Palm Springs for my niece's wedding last week, which was beautiful. If you hear thumping in the back, that's my tortoise again. He thinks he can go outside, but it's actually too cold today. But he's scratching, he like wants to go out, but he can't. So I'm sorry if that's distracting. But we drove to Palm Springs first and then went to this beautiful wedding, which was like 1-day wedding, 1-day pool party, and then a beautiful brunch at this beautiful location called Casa Kordy. And we had an amazing time there, and that was a good solid like 5 days that we spent there. And then my husband had to go to Adobe Max for work. He and I are both graphic designers, and so that's like where you learn all the new Adobe stuff and find out about all the new like tips and tricks and take classes and stuff. So he went to that in LA, and we tagged along, obviously. since it started right after the wedding ended, so it was like kind of perfect. So we extended our stay by a week in LA and had an amazing time. We went to the beach, we went to the Santa Monica Pier, we went to Venice, we went to the skate park, we went swimming, went to the beach again, did some shopping, went to the Grove, and we were actually at the Grove right before Taylor Swift got there for her Eras Tour premiere. Like, it was a big deal, and Beyonce was there, and they were shutting down the Grove, and they wouldn't say why because they didn't want a mob of people, and so it was very mysterious. But they shut down the Grove, and that's right by our hotel, like right by our hotel. And so we would walk there to get food and eat sometimes, or go shopping or whatever, because it's like an easy place to grab lunch or whatever. So I was eating there with the kids, and the police were shutting things down. There was helicopters right over our heads, like hovering in place in a formation. And we were like, what is going on? Why are they shutting this all down? I thought it was like something dangerous. I didn't know, but it seemed fine. Everything was fine. And we ate Chipotle right as Taylor Swift was getting to the theater in the Grove for her premiere, in that fabulous blue dress that's been all over the news all week, with Beyonce and all these other celebrities. And I know, like, we could have maybe tried to get in, but they were not letting anybody in unless you had these advanced passes, I think, that were very special. We were just like stumbling upon this, and then I didn't even realize till later when I Googled like what was actually happening and how big of a deal it was. And I guess that's like life in LA. But we were, blocks away in our hotel room, sitting there like, Taylor Swift is right over there. It's just so weird, so surreal, but that was really cool. Another story is when we were driving home from California back to Iowa, we ended up on the road side by side alongside Jason Momoa, because he has this very specific vehicle that is custom built for him, and it's called an Earth Rover, and it's a very unique looking, awesome, very cool looking vehicle that he sometimes can live in. It's like you can kind of camp in it. It has all your beautiful, like, they custom did this for him. And so my husband, who just knows everything about like celebrities and vehicles and all that, stuff, he's like, oh my gosh, because we're kind of coming up on this Earth Rover. And he's like, oh, the only person that has one of these is Jason Momoa. And I'm like, shut up. So we pass him, he's going a little slower than us, and I look, and it's totally Jason Momoa. We're like driving along with him, and Jason Momoa, if you didn't know, is from Iowa, and his mom still lives here, and he comes back periodically, and he has like his favorite restaurant spots in Des Moines that he will come to every time he comes back. So we all kind of know sometimes he comes back here. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's totally driving from LA to Iowa like us, on the same days that we're driving, which is just so weird. But I was just kind of like, hi, we're from Iowa, and safe travels. And then we ran into him like again. So it was like outside of LA, we saw him, and then in Colorado, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's either stopping in Colorado, like maybe he has a house in Colorado, or maybe he's going all the way to Iowa like we are on this crazy drive. So anyway, 2 near miss like celebrity almost sightings. Taylor Swift at the Grove, and Jason Momoa on the road home. But yeah, that's my weird story. And I was knitting my sweater the whole time, and it's all part of the memories. Like, this is all the California. There's like a little bit of sand in my knitting bag from the beach. And then like I worked on this while we were having breakfast at our new favorite spot called Swingers. It's like a breakfast spot right below our hotel in Beverly Hills that we stayed at in LA. And so like all these little knitted in memories, you know how it is when you make a sweater, you remember what you were doing or what you were watching or where you were when you were making it. So this is like my California to Rhinebeck coast to coast sweater. I am so happy with it. It like really, I didn't try it on much because I was in the car, and then I tried it on once when we got there just to kind of make sure it wasn't totally off, but I got gauged really easily. The fit for the size I picked is really perfect, I think. The sleeves are really nice. Just a little bit of ease in the body, which is exactly how I like it. Just a little boxy and not too tight. The length is great, the collar is great. It's like a little bit of a mock neck with a rib. The color work was so much fun. It went so quickly that I was sad when it was over because it's just really, really fun to watch the Spincycle do its thing. And then the body was a breeze. The sleeves went really quick. So I did probably this much on day 1. Day 2 was like here to here. Day 3 and day 4 I saved for the sleeves, and I didn't even knit all day each of those days. And then I saved the cuffs for home because I just want to make sure exactly that they would be just the right length. So I wanted to try that on when I was home, when I was standing up and not sitting in the car all hunched over. So that is my Rhinebeck sweater story and the story of my travels last week. Oh my gosh, we just did so much stuff that I'm like, I kind of am still settling in at home. We're still getting laundry done and things unpacked and kind of getting back to our sleep schedule. We're like all very tired because just the drive alone. But we went to the Broad Museum in LA, and I took the kids while Bo was at Adobe Max, and we saw the coolest exhibition there, or collection, or whatever you call it. They had rooms of Liechtenstein, rooms of Basquiat. We just missed the Keith Haring, but there was still Keith Haring pieces up. Barbara Kruger, like all of my favorite artists. Everything was so good. I'm still blown away by everything we saw, and the kids loved it. And they had a little scavenger hunt that they did where they got to check off little things as we saw it. And they got these special little bookmarks, and just seeing that building is amazing. It's such a beautiful building inside and out, and it's just, I'd never been there before. And then we got to do the Yayoi Kusama Infinity Room, which I had seen tons of times online, but never had the chance to go to one. And so we luckily got a really last minute reservation because I think you have to book it way ahead, and I kind of missed it. Every time I looked, it was full. But when I woke up that morning, for some reason, there were spaces. I think they were released on a Wednesday, and we were going on a Wednesday. And so I grabbed our spots, and I was like, no way. And then we went, and it's so much different than what I thought. You are on this tiny little rectangle platform, and you feel like you're floating up really high in space. But they reassure you you're like on ground, but it does not look like you're on the ground. And so Bowie was like, oh, we're up really high. And I'm like, no, we're okay. And then we figured out, because you have to figure out like, where am I looking and what is looking back at me, and where, because you can't see these mirrors, but you are seeing yourself at a really far distance, but also close. And then like turning, it's really confusing and cool and weird, and like, what space am I in? And apparently if you reached your arms out, you could touch the lights, and they're like, be careful, like don't break, like grab the light and break it or anything. And we're like, oh my gosh. But it was an amazing experience, and LA was just so much fun. Palm Springs was so much fun. I'd never been there before. It was very, very hot. During my niece's wedding, it was like 103 degrees Fahrenheit that day, and we were cooking, but it was so much fun. And the wedding was the most beautiful wedding I'd ever seen. And it was really cool family time and catching up with family members we hadn't seen in a while. And then there was another event. It was neat that it wasn't over right after the wedding. They had another day planned with the pool party, so we could all kind of relax the second day and go to the fancy pool. And like the kids absolutely loved it, and we all had a blast, and it was really, really fun, even though it was really hot. And then LA was a little bit cooler. It felt really good, and we did the beach a lot and walked around everywhere. We did Runyon Canyon and hiked that and came back down. I can't remember all the things we did because we just did like so much every day. We really packed it in and made it worth it. But it was so much fun. And it was like in the 70s, and it was gorgeous. Like the weather could not have been more beautiful. And so we were so grateful. It was kind of a little bit of a cool down from the 103 degree Palm Springs days. It was like over 100 each day we were there, and then maybe like a 97-degree day. It was like intense because we're kind of in fall mode here in Iowa. And, you know, I was packing swimsuits and sunscreen and like dresses and all of our fancy clothes and everything. And then we got there and it was so hot. And then we came back and it was like really cold when we got here, and cold in Colorado on the way where we saw snow. We missed a snowstorm on our drive back in Colorado, so we got really lucky that we didn't hit that, because you never know this time of year, it could be like a huge snowstorm. But we made it back and we are so happy to be home. But as you know, Rhinebeck is in a few days. And so I am literally unpacking and repacking, but I'm just like taking out all the summer stuff and packing all the sweaters and jeans and cozy boots and hand knit socks and everything for Rhinebeck, because I leave Thursday from Des Moines. Me and my friend Erica are flying out and we are so excited. So I'm very like fresh off of a high from the California trip, like trying to get a bunch of work done in between and repack all this stuff. So I'm in the middle of packing right now. And speaking of packing, I'm gonna show you kind of what I'm planning on bringing. Obviously, this is one of my sweaters. I'm bringing cozy sweaters this year because I know there's a chance of rain. It looks like it's a little bit of a cooler forecast than last year, and so it's kind of affecting which sweaters I'm picking. But one thing I'm bringing that's not a sweater is a ShelliCan. This is my Rhinebeck sweater t-shirt. This is like, it's so cute when she makes these. I have the one from last year too that was kind of yellow. And I love this idea, even as like pajamas for while you're there, or as an undershirt under a cardigan or whatever. But I had to get the black one, and I think it's so super cute. And she has these in her shop in a whole bunch of different colors. Really nice soft t-shirt. I pretty much collect all her knitting t-shirts, so had to get this. So I'll be packing this, but I might just wear this as like PJs while I'm there. And then for the sweaters, this is such a hard decision, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly what's gonna fit in my suitcase and which ones I'm gonna bring. But this one is for sure, and you've seen it earlier this year. I made the Morchella cardigan out of Modern Daily Knitting Atlas, and this is such, it fits all the criteria. It's cozy and squishy, it's rambouillet, it's very soft, and I love a cardigan and I love this color. So boom, this is in for sure. And it has the little turtle buttons, if you remember from before, in honor of our pet tortoise. Just makes it a little extra fun. So this is definitely coming with me. And the problem is all my sweaters are very big and squishy. I'm sure we all have this problem, like trying to fit them in a suitcase. And I'm like, okay, there's like 3/4 of my suitcase is just these sweaters. Like, what do we do? I try space bags. I've tried the little, what are they called? The little compression box. What am I thinking? Packing cubes. I'm still working on that. So I have to get everything to fit in. I'm also still washing clothes from our other trip, trying to figure out which toiletries I need to replace, because we went through all our shampoo, you know, family of 4. So I have to figure out like what I need and what I can repack. Anyway, that's one sweater. This is 2 sweaters. My third, because I need at least 3, but I might bring more. Third sweater could be these, and I might just bring both of these because I know they're the same sweater, but they're different, and depending on what I want to wear that day, it might be gray, it might be dark gray. And these fit, I do have a packing cube that fits these like really nicely because these are thinner, but also they're not as cozy. They're warm, but not like this is warmer. My Kordy is warmer. My cardigan, you know, it's like thicker, warmer. These are thin, warm. But if it's really cold, I'd probably pick the other ones. So these might be sweaters 4 and 5, because number 3, I think, is gonna be my Kordy. Whoops. Oh, those my DPNs were inside. My Kordy from last year. And yes, I wore this last year, but who cares? If someone's keeping track of my Rhinebeck sweaters, cool. That's your thing. I don't care if it's like brand new sweaters every year. I can't make that many brand new sweaters every year. I just want the ones I like, and this is one of my favorites, and it's very, very warm and like easy to wear all day. Very cozy. So I think this is number 3, but this is also, yeah, my packing problem because these are all kind of chunky. So anyway, that's 5 sweaters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was feeling unprepared in the sweater department, but once I went down and looked at my piles of stuff, because I keep these all over, they're kind of not organized in one spot. But once I went and looked through everything, I'm like, oh, I totally have enough sweaters. And making one Rhinebeck sweater is like a huge accomplishment from where I was sitting like a week and a half ago, like with just this much done. So I'm very proud and I'm very happy with these sweaters, and I just have to pack the rest of my stuff now, which is basically like, if you are new to Rhinebeck or maybe this is your first year, I'll give you a couple of packing tips. Packing cubes, like I use this kind that like have an outer zipper to make them slimmer, so you stuff everything in and then you can zip it even tighter with the outer zipper, and it just kind of compresses things. And this fits those 2 smaller sweaters by itself, and it just kind of slides in your suitcase easily. Packing cubes are your friends. Also bring cash. I think everybody kind of knows this, but a lot of the vendors at New York Sheep and Wool don't have credit card readers, especially like the food places. Some of them do and some of them don't, but sometimes they don't work. So just bring cash. And it also kind of helps you stick to a budget if you just have like a certain amount of cash with you. Like there's your yarn purchases. I mean, if you want to, but I'm not shaming anybody who doesn't want to do that because it is a very special time and very special yarn, and I understand it's really fun to kind of go for it. What else is packing? I pretty much just pack like 5 pairs of pants and then maybe my 5 sweaters, and then I'm gonna get like a sweatshirt, sweatpants. I need cozy items for hanging out at night knitting, like the night knitting hangout clothes. I always bring like a pair of Birkenstocks, a pair of boots, which is my Blundstones that are just very, very comfortable because I have really bad feet and I've had foot surgeries, so I'm very, very like nice to my feet. And so I do bring more shoes than necessary because I need to switch each day usually. But my Blundstones are very comfortable, and I think I wore them twice last year, like maybe Saturday, Sunday, and they were the best. So I'll do that again. And then I've got a pair of New Balance. And then I still might bring my pair of Vans because they're really good too. So those 3, I know it seems like a lot of shoes, but I will make them fit. And I'll be wearing a backpack like as my personal item, and I'll make it work because shoes to me, like I cannot do this without the exact right shoes. It's important. And then obviously you bring like your hand knit socks, your hand knit hats and mittens. I think we might need them this year to be cozy because I think the forecast looks a little chilly, possibly rainy, which means we also need an umbrella, raincoat, all that good stuff. Prepare for rain just in case. Hopefully not, but, or maybe not, you know, the whole time. It's okay if it's like a little bit of the time, but hopefully not the whole time. But also I wanted to go over, let's see, I was thinking about packing, but okay, those are just like what I have like a packing list. I could share it if you're interested. I don't know. I will share, I have to look at my computer to do this, my rough Rhinebeck schedule in case you'll be at the same place I am and want to say hi. Thursday is our day to fly and drive to our Airbnb. We're excited to get there. I think this year, I have to even look, but I think we're staying in Red Hook. I don't even know. And then Friday, I have the early ticket for Cakepalooza. I believe it's the milk ticket, the one at 10 o'clock. And so we're gonna hit Cakepalooza first on Friday. And then of course we're doing Wool and Folk afterwards. It sounds really fun in the Catskills, and Felicia is such a master of organization, and I know she's been posting like the parking info, and it might look overwhelming, but just know that this woman has everything planned out for us, and it's all ready to go, and it's gonna be an amazing event because she does an amazing job. So I'll be at Wool and Folk the rest of that day, mostly, probably, on Friday, and then I will be at the MDK Modern Daily Knitting's booth at Wool and Folk at 2:30 if you want to come say hi. I'll be doing a little field guide book signing, and you can come pick up any field guides you want because they're just collectible little books and they're all so fabulous. They'll have all of them there, and they will also have their Atlas yarn, which is the yarn I used to make my yellow cardigan. And I'm really excited to see them because I just love hanging out with the MDK crew because they are my besties. So it's always fun being with them. So I will be at their booth at Wool and Folk at 2:30 on Friday. Looking at the rest of my schedule. Saturday is New York Sheep and Wool, obviously. And I need a drink, sorry. As I spill. Saturday, New York Sheep and Wool. Here we go. I'll just be wandering around at the normal times, but I will also be on the hill at 11 o'clock with the Madeline Tosh crew. And we have some really fun stitch markers that we're going to be handing out. Gigi is going to be there along with several of their other designers. I have designed a few patterns for Madeline Tosh over the past couple of years, and it's been really, really fun working with them. I also do their graphic design, or some of their graphic designs, so I lay out their patterns and stuff, so they'll send me like text and photos, and I put it all together and put their patterns together. So if you ever buy Madeline Tosh patterns or download them, you might be seeing stuff that I've been working on. So that's kind of fun. So I get to come hang out with that little crew, hand out stitch markers on the hill Saturday, New York Sheep and Wool at 11 o'clock. Then, what else am I looking at? I'm gonna be at a farmhouse after party on Saturday night at a farm outside of Rhinebeck. This is hosted by Brooklyn General and several other people. I think Labia and Ami is gonna be there. Nitrino and Mayak, I believe, are the hosts. And they're gonna have some food trucks and some different things and shopping available. And I believe tickets are available through Brooklyn General. You can go check, but I'm gonna go to that after Rhinebeck, New York Sheep and Wool, Rhinebeck. And then Sunday is New York Sheep and Wool again. I'm just going that day and I'm not doing any like meet up thingies, I don't think. I mean, just whatever. Normal day. And then I am going to the Jill Draper Open Air Studio afterwards, which is I think late afternoon. And then we leave and it's over. And this is all this weekend. Can you believe? Like, I know if you're like me, you've been looking forward to Rhinebeck for months and it seems like it'll never get here. And then all of a sudden it's this week and it's so weird. And I'm sorry if you are not going to Rhinebeck and not interested in any of this and you're like, ugh, this whole episode has been about Rhinebeck and I'm so sorry. It's on my mind and it's why I made this sweater, and totally understandable if you don't want to go, if you can't go, if you aren't making it this year. It's a lot. It's a journey. It's a whole commitment and takes a lot of planning, and all kinds of, circumstances have to line up to make this happen. And it's a big deal. And it's not just like a little easy trip. It's like a lot. So, but I will be sharing once again a Rhinebeck recap. I always take some video while I'm there. If you're interested in seeing past Rhinebecks, I have Rhinebecks of the past. I have 2 older videos in a Rhinebeck playlist from a while back. You can find on my YouTube channel. I believe it's 2021. Yes, it is. 2021 and 2022 is the ones I covered. And you can go watch them if you want to get into the Rhinebeck spirit, or if you just want to see what it's like. I kind of do an overview of each time that I've gone, and I'm going to do that again this year. So if you're interested, stay tuned and I'll do a little recap when I get back. What else? Okay, what I'm working on is not much now that I'm done with the sweater, but I am working on that Zissou hat. I'm just doing a watch cap out of Pancake and Lulu, the Zissou red. So it's like the red. And so I'm making a quick watch cap, and this might be my airplane knitting and Rhinebeck knitting project, but I'm afraid I might finish it too quickly, and I might finish it before we go. We still have 2 days. Maybe I'll finish this and then pick a new project. That's another thing I gotta figure out about packing. You know, like the most important thing is like, what are you gonna bring to knit? But I have several ideas, and I might run downstairs and grab them and show you, and you can help me pick what I'll knit at Rhinebeck, because I'm not totally sure yet. Also, you may have seen the whole make-along thing with Stephen West, and he's handled it so beautifully, and I just really love him, and he, you know, really did a beautiful job reframing this and like a new fresh start. And my make-along is not started yet because I was making this sweater. I kind of missed the whole thing in the beginning where he re-released a different video on Clue, and I kind of caught up later and found out what was going on, and I think he just did a beautiful job handling it. But I have not started this yet, and it's a good thing that I didn't, because now I can start fresh with the new Clue one, and I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change it a little bit from what he released, but I have a plan. I don't want to start this yet, and I don't think I want to do this at Rhinebeck because I think it's involved. Like the one I want to do is a little bit like, you need to concentrate, focus, and maybe be at home and not like social knitting, you know, like it's not mindless. So this is on hold for now, but I'm still very excited about it. And when I get back, I will be jumping in and trying to catch up with that. And the last thing, I think I have more. 1 minute, I'm gonna go get my ideas for Rhinebeck knitting, and you can help me pick. Okay. I ordered these sock sets. They're Freia from Modern Daily Knitting a while back, thinking this could be my Rhinebeck knitting project because they're so cute. So I have 2 of them, and I cannot decide which one I want to do. One of them is called Punk Rock. And look how good these little sets are. They come already pre-wound in matching, even perfectly split skeins for your socks. Like, so perfect. So this is Punk Rock. Look how fun. I think this is my winner, just looking at it now. And it's called Freia Solemates. And I got these at Modern Daily Knitting. Look how fun. Hand-dyed identical ombre sock yarn balls, blah, 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 blah. And you can get a Soulmate sock pattern with the QR code. My other choice is this beautiful green blue, which I also love, called Aswan. So what do I do? I really like these too. I saw a pair knitted up in this green blue, and it's so pretty. Like, kind of has olive in the middle, this beautiful chartreusey green on the outside, and then that turquoise. So vote in the comments below. Blue green or Punk Rock. This is really fun, but this is so pretty too, and I love them both. But help me decide, because I don't know what to do. But I'll cast on one of these before I leave to just get it started and make sure I have my DPNs and all my stuff in the right bag. You know what I mean? It's just a lot to collect. It's a lot after a big California family trip for 4 people. You know, I am dealing with all the kids' stuff and my husband's stuff and my stuff and all the stuff we shared, and like sorting it out, cleaning it up, putting it away, but also keeping out stuff that I'm gonna need for myself, and then repacking all my fall things. It's like really fast. But okay, so help me pick. Punk Rock, green, blue, help. And then I have one more thing to share, and then I'm done, and I'll leave you alone. I have some exciting news. just a little recent development. But first of all, have you ever seen a more Jen Geigley color than this in your life? Because I haven't. I love all yellows and chartreuses and even like lime greens, but this is like so perfect. And it is La Bien Amie Kordy worsted in cocoa. And I'm gonna be knitting a sweater for La Bien Amie this fall, winter, and it'll come out probably before Vogue Knitting Live in January. And I'm so excited. It's going to be the perfect sweater, and it's gonna be the perfect chartreuse sweater. And I have a whole plan. I don't have the pattern totally written yet, but it's like there. And I have the drawing, the schematic done, the outline. It's just, I have to knit it, and I'll do this when I get back because I can't, the excitement is like huge, but I can't do this yet. This is like home concentrating, writing notes as I go knitting. So anyway, but I wanted to show you this beautiful color, this beautiful yarn, and a project that I cannot wait to start for La Bien Amie, who is like a dream. So yay. So that is it for my little catch-up video before Rhinebeck. I cannot believe it's this week. I really don't know how it came so fast, but here we are, and I'm packing. I'm gonna go pack right now and try to figure out my sweater situation, try to figure out what to cast on. Help me for real. And then that's it, we're going. If you are going to Rhinebeck, find me and say hi. If we run into each other, don't be shy. I'm shy actually, so it's like not a big deal. I'm very awkward and weird, but I love saying hi and seeing people in this online universe. And I have so many cool knitting friends that I've met, you know, from Instagram or from their YouTube, and it's just kind of funny how this hobby brings us together. And that is the cool part of these events, is that we get to finally see each other and check out everybody's knits and sweaters, and you know, ooh and ah, only like other knitters can understand, you know, the work that went into these and appreciate your knitted Rhinebeck items. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I have to say. I will see you when we get to Rhinebeck. If you're going, see you when we get there. I'm gonna go pack. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.